Across the pond.
Welcome everyone to Across the Pond, the podcast that dares to uncover the mysteries lurking beyond the veil of reality, from government cover-ups and secret experiments to hauntings, cryptids, and UFO encounters. And for today, we have a very special guest with us, namely Joost, the former vampire, I guess. And, of course, with me, host Stijn Fox, I have the ever lovely Miss Amanda. We haven't done one together just yet, so this should be interesting. New to all three of us. Joost is a soon-to-be media personality. He is a writer, researcher, truth seeker, man of many talents, and a very, let's say, interesting past that if you watch my channel, Queer on Pagans, you have probably, wow, speech impediment right away, probably seen before. It's what you get when you get a vampire on. So yeah, Joost, thanks for joining us on Across the Pond. I told Amanda before we went live that this is actually the third time that I'm interviewing you, but
yeah, thank you.
First time on Across the Pond. So thanks, man.
Thanks for having me.
For sure. So, I already know, of course, but Amanda doesn't. And Amanda, let's start with the question that you asked me before we went on. Like you gotta ask me.
I've got to ask: are you a vampire?
Well, there are several types, of course. You got the mythological kind of vampire and the Hollywood vampires. Definitely not that, but you also got psychological vampirism, and you got sanguinarian vampires, people that actually drink human blood. And when it comes to that, yeah, I kind of been one.
So what category of vampire are you fitting into?
I would say back the days I would be a hybrid. I would be one that actually tasted human blood and one that actually got into the psychic vampirism, which there is a whole lot of science behind psychic vampirism, and I'm gonna show that later on in the show. But there is science behind it. It's not just some cosplaying or fetish or whatever. It's way more than just people doing crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm. But it isn't like that traditional way of people thinking, like, if I give you my home address, you could come and change me into a vampire.
No. It's more when it comes to the psychological vampirism, it's more, something psychological or something spiritual. People that drain on other people's energy, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Be it emotionally or spiritually, or like chi,
I've had
prana.
a few of them.
So Amanda won't wake up tomorrow morning with like 2 bite marks in her neck.
Which was now my dreams are destroyed.
No, she will only wake up a little bit tired and confused. Nothing special.
Oh, we've all been there.
Yeah.
No, like she was really curious about that. Like when I got into the studio, like one of the first things that she asked me is like, does he really like actually believe that he's a vampire? And she was kind of disappointed when I said no, unfortunately not.
I was ready to give out my home address, come here, sort me out, change me.
Well, the answer lies somewhere in the middle, right? Because like I said, there are people like from this book, Joe H. Slade, who actually has a PhD in parapsychology. he did actual research on psychic vampirism. And when you look at one of the first pages, and here's a really crazy thing, is that he had to do research for the US Army missile research. So he actually had to study psychic vampires for the US military, CIA, and stuff like that. So they actually, if the CIA believes in it, then, it's more than just, a myth or cosplay or whatever you want to call it.
If
But
the government... Sorry, go ahead, Amanda.
Oh, no, please, son.
No, it's like if the government is interested and willing to put money into research, it is a little more than just a conspiracy or just a fairy tale.
But they're not categorizing them as actual psychics, like a human psychic. They're completely categorizing them separately as like vampire psychics. Is that what you're telling me? So two different types of psychics. So you know the way you would have like a remote viewer, if you've ever heard of them, so a person that can remote view. Or yes, so they're not putting them in the same category, are they? Or are they separating them?
Separating them, definitely. When you look at psychics, most of them use stuff like astral projection, out-of-body experience. But, here's a but. When you look at, and this is from Don Webb, who is one of the members of the Temple of Set, or at least used to be, and the Temple of Set is a branch that comes from the Church of Satan. So it's all connected, and the Church of Satan is connected to Crowley, etc. But when you look at Don Webb's energy magic of the vampire, he discusses a lot of stuff like astral projection, draining energy from people, and when you look at the energy aspect of it, people that know stuff like yoga, they talk about prana, pranic energy, life energy. When you look at the Chinese things like Tai Chi, they call it Qi. When you look at the Japanese, same thing as Qi prana, they call it Ki, as in Aikido. And Aikido is using someone else's energy to defeat your opponent, basically.
So like a succubus.
Yeah, succubus, incubus, kinda. One big part of the magic in vampirism is also, seduction or mesmerism or hypnosis or however you want to call it. And one fine example of a form of hypnosis is, I'm gonna tell a story about a cult that I have been in. One of the cults, I've been in several, the Church of Satan, the Temple of the Vampire, and eventually Strigoi V, which is a cult that is even connected to Hollywood. They actually have Hollywood actors and people working in Hollywood that are part of that vampire cult. But an example of mesmerism is, I'm gonna show you this necklace of mine. And it's a necklace they gave to the European part of the branch out of Strigoi V, of the Hollywood connected cult. And they had 2,000 of these. So there are 2,000 members within Europe, within France, the Netherlands, and Germany. And yeah, this is some unique pendant, basically. It's a unique necklace. And every time I tell a story about this necklace and about seduction, and I show the necklace, then every time you see the necklace again in your life, you automatically, just like NLP, remember the stories I was telling while showing it. So that's part of, subtle hypnosis. You show something, tell something about it, and every time you see the symbol again, you can never forget the stories that you heard about just something simple as a piece of metal,
Yeah, it's by association. It's a very common thing. Like even the Like Pavlov from the Pavlov effect has kind of used that in his research. It's a whole different thing than vampirism, but it's, the association with it. So it is definitely hypnosis, and Joost has a he gets into your brain.
It's
Are
basically
you
you
going to get
plant
into
a...
my brain?
Oh yes, most at the end I will
Are we
get
going to do a
into it.
test run on this podcast today?
Yeah,
And then
we
we'll
definitely
come back for part 2 and you can check if I remember everything.
definitely will. So, should I go into how I got into all this kind of stuff? Because you don't automatically get into, dark cults and stuff like that.
No, you don't just like sign a paper like, hey, I'd like to join,
No,
name, address,
there.
postal code, bank accounts, last four numbers of my credit cards, blood type.
No. It's you find them and they find you. That's basically how everything in life works. Not just with cults, but also with whatever you want to do. If you go for another job, you approach them, they approach you, and they see if you are fit or not. And cults are like that as well. So, when it comes to my life, at the age of 2, and I got very vivid memories of that age, because later on, when I was much older, I asked my father, like, I saw this and that, and was that really happening? And I was age 2, and he confirmed that, everything I remembered was stuff that actually happened. But at the age of 2, my father was at work, and my mother just disappeared with me and my 2-year-old brother. And she went into a cult, into a commune of Osho, Bhagwan. The Tantra yoga stuff, the sex magic stuff. So that was my first experience actually living within a cult, age 2. People were walking around naked, crazy stuff. It was the hippie time, open sexual bullshit, yeah. So that was my first connection with living in cults, and my mother changed several times within cults. She's been in Maikari, which is a Japanese cult. They send out and take energy, life energy, and they also give the energy to the dead. They actually worship dead gods and dead people and dead, basically
Like
worship death.
necromancy, is that what you call that?
Yeah, you could say that. They make sacrifices to the unliving, basically. And yeah, she's been in several cults like that. And when I hit puberty, my mother went into more light side stuff with angels and God and Jesus and all that bullshit. And I just wanted to rebel against her. And the thing is, back in the days when I was at high school, we had to work on projects about several subjects for, projects at school. But we didn't have the internet back then, so we actually had to go to a library. And in the library, you have books you can borrow, and you have books that you can look into, but are too rare to borrow. And one of the books I found there was this really big book, the Encyclopedia of Occultism and Parapsychology. And eventually I end up owning these 2 books. There are 2, and it's like 1,000 pages each. So it's like 2,000 pages of everything that has to do with the occult, parapsychology. It even have addresses of several cults in it. It got names of big occult people, of demons, demonology, whatever. And you can guess that, at an age of 14, you get really sucked into a book like that. And that was basically my first step into the occult knowledge. Later on, at the age, I think, of 16 or 17, I got into contact with this book that I just showed earlier. Psychic Vampires, Protection from Energy Predators and Parasites by Joe H. Slade. And this book mentioned psychic vampires. And this book basically is about the research on psychic vampires and also how to protect yourself against them. But I was more interested in how to be one, how to become one. And this book doesn't mention that. However, there was a good thing in life because the internet finally started to exist. So,
Woohoo! Long live internet.
so I looked up psychic vampirism, and there was this forum, drinkdeeplyandream.com, where psychic vampires would meet, psychic vampire cults would advertise about their cult, and one of the first cults I got into was the Temple of the Vampire. And I got their Bible, I got their business card with their address and everything, so I can, if I wanted to, visit them. And
we're gonna have to blur that out.
Send me that address
in editing.
Yeah. And yeah, this cult basically worshipped the undead gods and the dragons. Mostly every satanic cult, when you look at Christianity, for example, at Lucifer, they always call him the dragon, the serpent, and these kind of cults, they worship other serpents, dragons, just like Lucifer, just like Satan, just like they always compare them as, the undead gods, the dragons, whatever. So yeah, here's one of the first chapters in the Vampire Bible, The Dragon Speaks, and there's a whole thing about what the dragon is telling us to do, how to live, how to be a predator, because this book is really based on us being predators, our own inner beast, inner predator, inner hunter. Yeah, amazing stuff. So that was one of the first cults I got into. But the thing was, it was only online. They had a sub-forum that was Dutch from the Netherlands, but I never actually got to meet people from that cult. It was only online interaction through their forums and reading their books. But then later on, I got in contact with a much more interesting cult, which was the Strigoi V, the cult that is connected to Hollywood. And those people I actually met in real life, and I've been at their events, at their, their rituals and whatnot. So yeah, if you got any questions about that.
Oh, I do. Sorry, Stein. What goes on at these events? I want to hear about these rituals. What type of rituals? What's the worst thing you've seen? Or not worst, I suppose. What's the most dramatic thing you've seen at one of these rituals?
Well, when you go to an event like that, you got several levels of the event. You got the entry, you go to a club. It was in Amsterdam. And, you get a drink. There's some live DJs there, some goth music, goth metal kind of stuff. Everyone is dressed up. Some people wearing masks, some people don't wear masks. You meet a lot of, normal people just like you and me, but you also meet people that actually played roles within Hollywood movies, even met some actors from the Matrix movie,
Oh, that's so cool.
the Keanu Reeves movie. And so yeah, the first level is you just enter and you have a drink and you go into the club. But at deeper levels, you actually have a BDSM room where people just have an orgy together and do just like, have you seen the movie Eyes Wide Shut? Where the elites meet together and have...
I was just thinking that.
Have open sex together. It's a movie with Tom Cruise, and the most fun fact is...
A diddy party.
It's It's such a weird movie. Like that, just the vibes are so incredibly weird. But like I was just thinking that like it's kind of Eyes Wide Shut, but at like a
I've never seen it.
goth rave club in Amsterdam or something. And of course, the drink that you get is let me guess, a Bloody Mary.
Yeah, they had some bloody drink. Yeah.
Wait, Amanda, you've never seen Eyes Wide Shut?
No,
Oh,
I've never
girl.
seen it. Now don't worry, I'm gonna have to Google it now later.
Shame on you,
Yeah.
woman. Shame on you.
What?
Closer.
Listen, I'm a, what would we call us? You know, I like to
You're-
research.
You're with
Yeah.
Across the Pond and you've never seen Eyes Wide Shut. I'm telling on
Yeah.
you.
You know, you're telling you just told on me publicly.
But
Yeah.
I'm telling
the
Andy.
the funny thing about the movie Eyes Wide Shut is that Tom Cruise plays a role where he actually and accidentally gets into a cult gathering where they are having orgies and wild sex and sacrifices and whatnot, and he just accidentally gets in there. And the most funny part is that Tom Cruise himself is in a cult, Scientology.
Yeah.
Which is a branch,
Yes.
which is a branch from Aleister Crowley's cult, OTO. It's a branch from it, Scientology. That's the most crazy part. So a person that actually is in a cult is playing a role of someone who accidentally gets into a cult. So
That's why he played the role so well.
yeah.
You know, it was perfect for him.
But yeah, back at the event, you got the party going. You got performances on stage. Someone who does, I don't know how it's called in English, but they put meat hooks in your back and they lift you up.
Oh yeah. Suspension.
Suspension.
Like it's actually called suspension. It's very popular in the more hardcore piercing
Listen,
BDSM scene.
When I went to Amsterdam, I never come across any of these places.
No, you have to be invited or you have to find them.
So it is.
I mean,
Right.
they're
well,
vampires.
luckily I'm hooked
That's
in
how
with
it
you
works.
now.
Like you have to be invited.
I need to do some market
But yeah.
research.
But yeah, there are crazy performances. And like I said, a deeper level than that is the BDSM stuff, where people are actually practicing BDSM and having sex together in orgy and stuff like that. And everybody can just see that. And most of the times that's in a separate room from, the party itself. But even deeper is the actual ritual, where they have an altar, where they, on that altar, they have several stuff, like you always have a chalice, a black mirror, which is made out of obsidian stone, which is basically volcanic glass, black volcanic glass. It's the mirror that even John Dee used with one of the Queen Elizabeths, one of the many. We all know that the UK royals have very big ties to the occult. They used occult stuff. Even one of the popes used black magic to live longer, and I got...
I mean, they probably all did in some way.
Like in this book, this is one of the popes. He was dying, and here's a chapter about how they used satanic ritual to live longer. The pope
And
tells...
which pope is that?
This was... let me see...
Doesn't it say underneath his...
Tommaso Campanella, 1568 till 1633. So yeah, a really old pope. But yeah, the church tells us to do all the Christian stuff while they themselves do all the satanic and occult stuff. But yeah, like I said, you got the ritual with the black mirror, which the occultists always use. You got a chalice, you got a dagger. But the most interesting thing on the altar is either a naked woman or a naked man laying there, and it's most of the time a naked woman, because the thing they do is you form a circle of cultists, and in the middle is that naked woman. You call forth the names of, the entities you want to call forth to either manifest something or curse someone or whatever you want to do. It's either you want something or you want to destroy something, gain something, destroy something. And the people around that, when you see a naked woman laying there and when she does a little sexual stuff on herself sometimes, you get aroused. So you all get that sexual pranic energy. And just like with the Bhagwan Osho stuff, you can use that energy to manifest stuff into the world. So yeah, it's a very strong thing to have as the altar. And they even called that naked woman the altar because it's, that's the prime objective. It's not the table, it's not the mirror, it's that.
And we can even get a little more esoteric with that. Like, I mean, that's what I'm all about, of course. The sexual energy coming from the root chakra. So like the it's the animalistic instinct. And if you take the color spectrum of the chakra, the root chakra is the red chakra, of course, and red also being the color of blood, being the color of sensuality, sexuality, like how many stories and how many songs are there about the lady in red? Even the Matrix has it, of course, as, the prime distraction. And Amanda, like you've been so kind as to, light a red lamp behind you because you knew what it was all about. So yeah, like, there's so much like esotericism involved as well, but that's like on the way deeper levels, and it's more what I do with greater pagans. So, but I it's just had to get it out there because there's so much to it, and it's all red, of course.
Isn't the root chakra the lowest chakra?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Like energetically. So I'm just surprised that they would use sexual energy to try and manifest their greatest desires when I think it's vibrationally classed as the lowest. I'm just saying.
I mean, sexual energy, like sex magic. This is really getting 18 plus here. It is, but it is such powerful magic. Like like you can use it for anything, really, and vibration, but it's just that it's primal, is really primal, and that's why it's so powerful.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's just like, when you think of sexual energy, it's something you feel throughout your whole body, just like fear. You feel fear or joy throughout your whole body. It's something that, you feel your whole body tingling. It's not just, your genitals. When you have real sexual energy, you feel it all the way up to the top of your head, to the crown chakra. And that kind of energy is which they are using during such...
How do they pick the person that they're putting on the altar?
Well, they just simply...
making the altar.
They simply offer themselves, that's how cults work. They find people that are willing to do certain things in ritual. It's all about free will. You freely offer yourself to be on that altar, and I can also imagine that to some women, or even if there's a couple or men on there, the arousement of having like 10 or 20 people watching you perform there fully naked. Yeah, it's the arousement itself. It's the big kink of it, because basically you arouse 20 people or 10 people at the same time, and they all just kind of worship you at that moment. So being the altar itself is like, it's a big energetic, big psychological thing, Look at how many women these days go on OnlyFans. To have all those people watching, that's also ritual. That's also sex ritual to me.
Attention is currency.
They get paid for it though.
I mean, I imagine that, being the altar, it definitely puts you in good grace with the cult, quid pro quo, like you offer yourself as the altar, in return we'll give you some other thing, I imagine. Nothing's for free in this world. But I do like, Joost, that you like reiterated that, it's out of free will. It has to be out of free will, otherwise like it doesn't.
Yes, and they can't do it
work.
like sacrificially. Yeah.
Yeah, within
Very
the cult,
cool.
within the cult I was in, it's all about free will. But there is a dark side to it, because like within every cult or religion, because in my opinion a cult or a religion is the same thing. The only thing that divides a cult from a religion is the amount of members. Christianity has millions of members. Satanism only has 100,000 or maybe a million, but not as much as the Christian church. But it's the same thing. And the dark side of cults or religions or people sacrificing themselves. If you become a nun or a monk, you also sacrifice yourself. You sacrifice being able to have children, being able to have sexual intercourse or whatever. That's also a sacrifice you give to the church. And the dark side of it is that along cults and rituals, people are always manipulated. It's someone who's mentally and emotionally strong doesn't need a religion, doesn't need a cult, doesn't need, they are strong by themselves. They don't need the group energy to feel strong, because by themselves they are stronger than within a group. But when you look at people within cults, they need that group. They need people around them to feel stronger, so they will do more things that they would not normally do when they are by themselves. So that's a much darker aspect. And when you look at certain things like Epstein and Diddy cases, most victims that became victims there, they at first got there by their own free will. They decided to get into the plane with Epstein. They decided to go to a Diddy party because Diddy promised them fame. They they got drugged or whatever at the Diddy party and got some crazy sexual stuff happening to them afterwards. But everybody knows that when you go backstage with a big band and you are a woman, that they will sexually use you. That's been there since the hippie time.
They will invite you on the tour bus.
Yes.
And give you a tour of the tour bus. Show you all of it.
But part of it is people actually going there and saying yes, but another part of it is manipulation and drugging people and so that's the dark side to it, the manipulation. And when a victim is manipulated, they don't instantly come out with their stories. They wait till other people come out with the stories, and then they join the story because they got the same story which happened to them, but they never go there like, hey, I'm the first victim and I want to tell my story, because they feel, ashamed that they know that they were part of the problem, not the whole part of it, but they were part of it.
They were one link in the chain, if you will. And kind of going back, just like you said that you have actually met some of these cult members, the ones that are connected to Hollywood.
100%.
I imagine them being very charismatic, very persuasive, if you will. I mean,
Yes.
you have to be if you run a cult, especially if you're connected to Hollywood. I mean, for crying out loud, it's Hollywood. Being of course very occult in itself. Topic for a different time, perhaps. So who were they, and like why do they need that connection to Hollywood?
Well, the thing is, when you look at idols, it's a word from the Bible. You will not worship false idols. When you look at idols, people worship the famous because they want to be famous, or they want to know famous people. So yeah, when a cult has those famous people in it, like Tom Cruise in Scientology, or some actors from The Matrix and actors from the TV show True Blood. I don't know if you know that one. It's a series about vampires. They are connected to the Strigoi V cult that I have been in, and yeah, that's a way to lure in people. You get to, if you become a member and if you pay your membership, you get a chance to meet, your idols. Wow, I meet my idol. I was never sensitive to that. Never have been sensitive to famous people. Like for example, I lately became friends with one of the actors from the Karate Kid, but that's, for me, it's just, it's just a person, and he's an interesting person to chat with, and he's very humble and kind. But yeah, to me, it's just another human being. But for most people, when they meet someone famous, it's like, wow, I meet someone really amazing and famous, and I want to be with that person. And when you look at the one of the vampiric Bibles, that from the European chapter, when they branched out to Europe, we all got this Bible and pendant. So this is 1 out of 2,000 copies of the pendant and the book, because I can show you there are only, I don't know if you see it, only
I can see it.
2,000 copies. But when you look at names they are mentioning, people they are thanking, one of them is LL Cool J, who was a famous rapper in the 90s.
Yes.
You know LL Cool J?
Yes, yeah, I remember him. I am that old.
So yeah, he's also one of the people they are thanking.
Really aging ourselves here, talking about LL Cool J and pre-internet and forums.
I know.
Here, like, we lost the entire Gen Z crowd, but now...
Well, that's what I was just literally thinking, that Gen Z's gone from this podcast now.
What are they talking about? Pre-internet? What?
Another fun thing, here they are thanking the TOV Council, the Temple of the Vampire Council, from the other vampire Bible that I showed you with the dragons. So all these cults, Satanism, vampirism, it's Aleister Crowley, it's all connected. Every dark side cult member knows members from the other cults. So it's it's like one big family. You think you got different flavors, but basically it's all the same thing.
It's one big group and you're not in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But let me see if I can find one of the pictures of one of the people. Yeah. This was one of the actors within the Matrix movie. And
he really tried his best to make himself look like a snake, didn't he?
This was one that went up in the flesh hooks in his back. And if you look at his mouth, he got a really white mouth, but that's because he got scarification. So basically,
did he get like them cuts?
Yeah, he got the Joker smile. as you can see. And within the Matrix movie, he also had that. And at the podcast I did with Stein, I also showed the scene from the Matrix movie where you can see this guy. But you can also see the BDSM stuff and the club stuff from which I experienced within the event I was at. So they basically just show the ritual and the event from the cult within the movie The Matrix as if it's just a scene, as if it's just...
Yeah.
But meanwhile, every person you see in that scene in the Matrix movie is a member of such cults, of the vampiric or the satanic cults. So they openly perform rituals while you are watching that movie in the theaters. And while you're watching that, you're putting your energy to that movie. You know, you are worshipping the movie, the actors. So that by itself is already a ritual.
And we can maybe put a link to the clip in the description box down below, because when I showed it on my podcast, I like, what was it, like a 10-second clip maybe?
You get a red flag.
I got a copyright strike.
Really?
For it, yeah, for like a 10-second clip, because I was like, like I can find the clip on YouTube.
Oh,
like
I think it's got
like
to be over. I think it's got to be below 9 seconds
to
get away with the copyright.
Yes, jeez,
well,
months later. But we'll find the link, and we'll put it in the description box down below. So, but yeah, that's nothing new. Like actual rituals being performed on the big screen, like you think you're watching a mock ritual or you're just watching a movie, but no, you're not. I had that exact feeling with the basically the big ritual at the with the movie that we were discussing, which name escapes me, Eyes Wide Shut. Like at the end, like down in the basement, the big ritual when like in the chanting and stuff. Like I've never seen the movie before, and it's because of that I'm having a very hard time convincing myself to watch the movie again, because it creeped me out, and that was years ago. Like I didn't know. I don't think I knew half then of what I know now, but it was just something deep inside me that was like, this is not okay.
And the funny part is that the guy that produced that movie died soon after. Because he made the movie. He made the movie in secret, because he knew that if he would announce making the movie, that it would be cancelled or shut down, because he was exposing too much within the movie. So he made it
heavily edited afterwards.
He made it in secret. It was heavily edited afterwards, indeed, and the producer just, he died instantly after making it. So it's a cult movie, it's an occult movie, and it's a movie where there's a lot of conspiracy theory behind it. We can never know what really happened, but it's, it's...
He never even got to see the premiere.
Yeah.
I'm on it tonight. I'm watching.
Yeah, you should. You should, yeah.
Eyes Wide Shut, Tom Cruise. It's amazing.
It's a fucked up movie, but it shows so much.
Yeah, the real events are much, much better, because then you can actually get involved into the sexual stuff, and
he would know.
Yeah. But they are still doing these events. When you look at Father Sebastian on YouTube, the leader of the cult,
the handsome feller that you just showed us.
No, that's not the cult leader. That's just
member. Wait, that's someone else. Yeah, with the pretty Chelsea smile.
But when you look at the Father Sebastian stuff, and you got promo videos for the events, because they are still having them in LA and in France, and when you look at those promo videos, you see a lot of famous actors in those promo videos. You see a lot of sexual stuff in those promo videos without, when you got an 18+ video normally on YouTube, you got that 18+ warning. You don't get it there.
Does that happen? I don't.
Yeah, when there's some boobs, normally
Look at you being all innocent. Yeah, right.
normally when you aren't logged into YouTube and you go to some 18 plus content, you just you don't get through to see the boobs. But
Okay.
on his videos you get to see the boobs and the sexual stuff.
Guys, I think we lost Amanda.
Yeah. Maybe I should show her the pendant again so she can remember that, there's a lot of...
I'm actually crying real
But there-
tears. Yeah.
And the fun
Okay.
fact, this pendant
That was
actually
hilarious.
been at all the events. So this pendant has seen a lot of sexual stuff. It has seen a lot of dark stuff. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'm not the member anymore, but I still keep it because, it has a lot of great dark history connected to it.
I mean, shit, just imagine the energy that it's actually charged with.
Well, they actually did a ritual making these. They had all those 2,000 amulets laying on the altar and do, the sex ritual just to make the cult successful in Europe. And
So-
they are still successful in France, so it worked.
So Sauron, but make it vampire.
Yeah. But yeah.
Why only 2,000 though? Why did
What
they
did-
only make 2,000 of them? Can you hear me?
Well, that I don't know. I think they just made a prediction of how many members, because like I said, I met this cult on Drink Deeply and Dream forums, and I got into contact with them, and I think a lot of other people got into contact with them as well, and they just made a calculation like, we got this many people in France, this many people in Germany, and this many people in the Netherlands, and we need 2,000 of these because...
Well, I also think it's an exclusivity thing. Like if your club or your cult, around the world, like only has 2,000 people, that's a very, very small amount.
Only in
You know,
Europe.
like,
Yes, I
2,000.
know.
Only in
Do
well,
they not
2,000
want to
only in Europe.
expand?
I mean, that's what the other cults are for.
Okay, so
know,
this is like the real exclusive, isolated little kind of like the Rich Boys Club.
Well, I can say that this book is extremely rare. So I will never get rid of it. And this amulet is really rare. So it sticks with me until I die, and then...
And like 2,000 is actually...
Into the coffin.
yeah.
2,000 is actually very little. Like I worked
Yeah.
security at a penitentiary. I believe the biggest penitentiary in the Benelux, at least. So Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, and including staff, it's 1,500 people. So like just imagine how little 2,000 actually is. Like it's only 500 more.
Yeah.
So it's very, very exclusive, and like I imagine like all the other cults having similar things, and also claiming exclusivity. Of course, like the only reason why you would want like millions and millions of members, like
Scientology.
like Scientology, for example, is because of
It's a
money.
money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they make hella money with their, peddling their bullshit.
Yeah.
I can send you, by the way, the links of the promo videos of the event, so you get...
Yeah, please.
And then you can see if you get... I sent you the Matrix scene as well, and if you put those things side by side, you are basically watching at the same thing. So...
Amanda's never going to be the same again after this podcast. Like, we corrupted her.
This is the best way to end my day today, I'm telling you.
So yeah, next time she will be in France or LA and become the author herself for all those horny vampires around her.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'll be the one making the sacrifices, love. I won't be on no OTA.
All right.
Wow, okay, damn.
Yeah.
Look at you, boss lady.
Only joking. Now, to all our listeners, I am actually just playing along here. Of course, I'm not going to do anything of the sort.
Yeah, it's a disclaimer she has to put in there so we don't get cancelled.
I did.
Yes. So, should I go a bit into, like I said, you got the events, you got the rituals, you got stuff like that. And like I said, with ritual, you either create something, you want something, or you destroy something, which is a curse you put on someone. But there's another thing with the things I can tell is about the type of vampires and about vampire magic, because that's a big thing. When you look at the Don Webb book, for example, it's all about vampire magic, energy magic, but the Strigoi V cult also has a big book on that, so I can cover that as well, if you like.
Amanda, I'm leaving it up to you. Like, this is all new to you, and
Like, I'm more than happy for this to continue going as long as you want it to, Stein. Like, I'm here for it.
yeah, I mean, so yeah, yes, whatever you got.
Yeah,
bring it
let's
on.
go. And then, if it starts going too long, we'll just extend this into 2 parts and we'll jump back on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it turns into like a 2-hour recording, we'll just do like we'll make Andy. He's our editor. Like he's chief and he's editor and he's everything. We'll just say like, okay, Andy, like cut it here. Thank you everyone. Join us for part 2. Continue.
Yes.
So yeah. First, the type of vampires. I think that's an important one, and I'm only gonna discuss the vampires in the cult itself, and not the mythological or because
we all know those.
There's way too much like the succubus and the incubus and Dracula and stuff like that. That's all the mythological or even historical. One thing I want to add, when you look at Dracula, Vlad Dracul, he was a real person, historical person. And Dracula means the dragon. So there's your dragon again. And a fun fact about the king in the UK, he actually is a descendant of Dracula.
A direct descendant. He is of the same bloodline. Yeah.
So Dracula being Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah.
Yes.
The historical figure. And yeah.
And your beloved king is a direct descendant of him.
Of Dracula. Of the dragon bloodline. It's a bloodline of the dragon.
The Draconis, yes.
But yeah, the vampires, you got the cosplayers, of course, or people that are just, fans, and they also go to these events. But when you look at the actual vampires that do the rituals and stuff like that, you got the sanguinarium, the blood drinkers. They don't drink a whole gallon of blood, but they drink a couple of drops of blood. They put it in wine or drink it directly. And you get a certain high when you drink someone's blood, because it's also a sexual act, because you actually make a small cut and just, use your tongue to catch the drop and taste it, and maybe even taste each other's blood. And, that's mostly stuff that happens in the bedroom, not during the rituals, but it's the bedroom stuff.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, it's like MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, and his former wife, his current wife?
Ex.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Oh, well, whatever. I mean,
mm,
I forget her name. Like that's how much I am into celebrity culture. All
Megan
I know is,
Fox, is it?
yeah. Oh God, she is a
Yeah.
fox, all right.
I know, I
But like, sorry. Hey, I'm still a man. I have feelings. Thank you.
know.
Um, well, I remember like like her doing an interview. And it's like, oh yeah, we drink each other's blood, but it's just a few drops and only for ritual purposes. Moving on. It's like, whoa, hold up, we drink each other's blood. Okay, like I know Hollywood is kind of freaky deaky, but only a few drops. Okay, sure, and like only for ritual purposes.
Yeah.
And like
She was
the
quite open and
interviewer.
honest about it.
Yeah, but like I mean, geez, like hiding in plain sight. It's the best place to hide because it's the last place that anyone will look. And I
Yeah.
love how the interviewer was just like, like okay, that answers whatever. Next question. It's like, no, whoa, hold up, like shit. But yeah, I mean, you could even for all our hardcore conspiracy theorists, that kind of also takes you down the adrenochrome, pipeline, if you will, the adrenochrome rabbit hole, like the adrenaline in the blood, because of course, when you cut yourself, some small amount of adrenaline is released.
And you can taste it.
Okay.
I can confirm that. That's
Really?
yeah.
Of course you can.
It's a thing that gets you aroused, the adrenaline. But you only get a little bit of it. And adrenochrome, at the hospitals they got these adrenaline injections. If your heart stops, they literally put a needle in your heart and they pump in the adrenaline and your heart reboots. But
Pulp Fiction style.
yeah, but the
Exactly.
adrenochrome can be created out of those injections. So it's actually something that's on the market. You can even order chemically created adrenochrome, not harvested from blood, but chemically from those injections. But it's a really strong dose of adrenaline, and you instantly start hallucinating and stuff like that. So yeah, this.
I mean, just watch Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas with Johnny Depp. It's about, I believe, halfway through the movie that he gets a bottle of adrenochrome from his agent, I believe, who like casually drops like, oh yeah, I got that from some. What was it, like some Satanist's guy or whatever? And dude, like
In
just
the movie.
yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Like
Okay.
the whole movie is a fucking trip. Literally and figuratively, it's like one of my favorite movies ever because it's so just fucking weird. But yeah, like they openly, like use adrenochrome in the movie, and it's like he takes way too much of it. It's like a couple drops and then like some more drops and then just fucking swig. It's like, oh dude, no.
But yeah,
So
yeah.
I've never even heard of it.
It's
I'm learning so much today.
but
And I'm sure our audience.
But it is a drug that really exists, and you got the chemical variation, and you got the actual variation that comes from blood itself. So yeah, that's one of the type of vampires, but the other one is more interesting, and that's from the book I showed earlier, what the CIA and the US government wanted to research, and that's the psychic vampire. And the psychic vampire basically steals away energy from people just by being in their vicinity or talking to them, or like I say, when you know stuff about NLP, it's also like it's like mesmerism or hypnosis, but it's small hypnosis because you plant a little seed in someone by having a conversation about a certain topic or whatever, and then keep pulling up that certain topic and make it grow within someone.
Yeah, or
And
as you did, like talk about it and like show the necklace, so the so the neurolinguistic
So it's
programming.
kind
It's
of
fascinating.
right. Okay. Yeah, that kind of makes sense when you were explaining it like that.
so yeah, the psychic vampire basically takes away energy from other people and lives on that. You also got the emotional vampire, and people like that, a lot of them, they don't know that they are practicing vampirism. You always got these type of people that always play the victim role, and they hang around you and they want you to feel sad for them, and the more you hang around with them, the more tired you get and the more energetic, and they keep on going and going and going and going, and your energy level was here, and the emotional vampires was here, and it's going like, your battery
Yeah.
goes down and his battery or her battery goes up. And that's a psychological pattern of vampirism. They stick to the victim role because they know people will feel sad for the victim. And most of the times, they were a victim somewhere in their life, but they keep using that victim card to drain you, basically.
Yeah.
If you ever meet someone like that, just say, well, it was nice talking to you, but I gotta move on, I gotta go, and have a nice day.
Yeah, I got two
Instant.
kids with one of those.
Instantly do that, because otherwise they will get your telephone number, they will learn where you live, and next time they are sitting on your couch like every week draining you and then going home energized and happy,
Yeah.
while you feel like shit after meeting those.
A very, very personal tip from me: don't impregnate them. It's I I have two kids with one of those. I love my kids, absolutely adore my kids. I just wish I could have had them with another mother.
Stein, you are such a liar. You always said I was the first vampire you met, and now you're talking about your ex. You're such a scumbag, you know that?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Freaking
bro.
scumbag.
No, like I mean, you were the first like actual vampire. I'm only now realizing that she may have been one too, although she's more like
You
leaning
opened
towards
his eyes.
towards the succubus. She's leaning more towards succubus than like vampire. But so I'm sorry. You still popped my vampire cherry.
But yeah, psychic vampire, from which you got, the one who knows he's one, to the emotional version. Some know that they are, some don't know that they are. And, politicians, they are vampires. They keep on blabbing. They speak a lot, but they say nothing. And people listening to them starting to, get tired. And yeah, politicians are definitely 100% satanic vampires. Gotta be.
As we say in the Netherlands, ze lullen 5 kwartier in een uur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So they'll talk for the amount that they talk is like 5 quarters in an hour, so like 5 times 15 minutes, but in the time span of an hour, and they'll talk a lot, they'll talk a lot but say very little.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they will never answer questions.
No, never. It's just like if you've ever watched a politician get asked a question, it's like, it's a lot of talking. It's a lot of...
And the
a
answer's
lot of
nothing
this,
to do
a lot
with
of
it.
that. Yeah, and like, I don't know, like 15 minutes later is that, it's like, thank you for your question.
So yeah.
But I still don't have an answer.
So yeah, those are the types of vampires, but what I find really interesting is a vampire magic. And I use the term magic very loosely because, you believe in it or you don't believe in it, or you can call it psychology or science or whatever. It doesn't matter, but one of the things is energy gathering, you know, those events, or having that Hollywood movie with that scene that everybody's watching, everybody's worshipping Keanu Reeves, everybody's worshipping the movie and talking about it, giving it their money, their energy, their, you know, money is energy. So that's one of the things, energy gathering. Another thing is called glamour or mesmerism, and the thing about glamour is you can dress in a certain way and stand out. People will notice you, and people will, you know, when you walk by, they go like, wow, that person looks like, wow, he looks weird, he looks strange, or he looks attractive, or whatever. And that's one of the things, you know, when you look at theater, people doing theater, they know everything about how with clothing and makeup and, you know, facial expression, you can draw in people, draw in energy. So glamour is one of the things. When you want to sexually seduce someone, you don't wear this plain shirt like I'm wearing, you know, that doesn't work. Because then if you are casual dressed, you gotta do the glamour with your way of talking, the way of making eye contact. That's also part of glamour. But when you
That's what I was about to say. Is it entirely down to what they're dressed as, or is it more like that's a power that they have?
It's everything combined, but they do everything they do is calculated, just like narcissistic people. A narcissist, when he wants something, he pulls everything he has, you know, type of clothing, type of eye contact, the way of talking, the you know, they are masters at illusions and deception. Because if I would wear a suit right now, you know, look like I'm a big CEO, and I would play the role of a big CEO, you guys would believe it if you didn't know me. But now I'm casual dress, and if I would pull that CEO story, nobody would believe me. It's just the suit makes a difference. It's one of the tools, basically.
I mean, that's also, for example, why Mark Zuckerberg like rebranded himself, because like nobody was. Yeah, like now, you know, now he's like this you know, this jujitsu phenom, and he wears a gold chain and has like, you know, the Gen Z broccoli head.
I don't know how I'm missing all this stuff online.
I mean, it's also kind of a good thing that you're missing it. No, but it's like, you know, Facebook and Meta and like all of that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, nobody really uses it anymore also because it's you know, overrun with AI slop, and it's just like, we all know he sells your data. Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
Well, yeah, that was proven years ago.
Yeah, and so, you know, he kind of had to rebrand himself also to, you know, like kind of try and show to us like, hey, you know, I'm one of you guys, even though I'm worth billions, and like I sell all your fucking information to the government.
The last time I seen him a few years ago, he didn't look human. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't think any amount of rebranding is going to fix that.
Not, like I said, you know, now he wears, you know, like brand clothing and has a gold chain, and you know, he's like a surfer dude, like he's all cool now, supposedly, and that's, you know, it's what he's trying to make you believe. It's a different kind of glamour. I've also heard stories, and this is a fascinating one, of Marilyn Monroe. Of course, like she doing like glamour, and there's a story about her like walking down the street with someone, and like nobody, you know, recognized her because, I don't know, she was able to do that. Like even Marilyn Monroe was able to do that.
I can tell you a lot about how that works, because that's also part of vampire magic.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And she was like, she just told that person, like, I believe it was a friend of hers, like, you know, like, you see how nobody pays attention to me now? Like, I can make everyone like pay attention to me right now, and I don't have to, change my clothes or, my hair or whatever. And she, like, I think, like, put the glamour on then, if I'm not
So was
mistaken
it just
in
like
that.
projecting the energy?
Yeah, or something like, like the person walking beside her, I believe it was a friend of hers, said like it was kind of like a mask dropped. Like nothing physically changed about her, but something happened, some kind of a mask dropped, and all of a sudden everyone was like, holy shit, that's Marilyn Monroe. Like everybody saw her. And yeah, magic is fascinating.
Yeah, the thing about that is another type of magic, and it's what they call invisibility. Everybody that has been at primary school and high school, everybody knows that kind of person who is shy, who is not part of the group, and
The wallflower.
nobody sees that person around. If you ask people within, the class, was let's call him John. Was John there today? Some will say yes because they saw him, but most will be like, maybe, I don't know. Was he there?
Who's John?
And part of the invisibility is wear something casual, but the most boring casual stuff. Don't make eye contact to people, because the moment you make eye contact, even if they aren't looking at you, the moment you look at them, that feeling you got that somebody somewhere in a crowded environment is watching you, and you watch back and you instantly see that person looking at you. So don't look at people.
Yeah.
Stare at the ground. Be as boring as possible. And most of all, people are attracted to types of energy, of confidence and stuff like that. So what you gotta do is dig down into a memory, into a trauma where you was feeling the worst of all in your life. Make your whole personality aura totally black, as dark as you can be. Just go down to the trauma road. Just dive deep into it, and people won't notice you. On the other end, if you dive deep into something that gave you joy or something that gave you power, and you dive into that energy and you radiate that energy, people will start to notice you. So you can either choose to be seen or be unseen. And that's, part of it is clothing, but like you said, Marilyn Monroe was not wearing something different. She was just probably going down through some traumatic road and be like just not a victim walking there, and people won't notice her. And that's very powerful magic. Going deeper into the positive radiation, a great thing about seduction is, for example, I see you and Amanda together and I want to seduce her. You are,
Good luck.
But let's say you two were, together at an event or a party, and I wanted to seduce you, and I already stood out in the crowd. The thing that I would do is, you guys would already have noticed me. I would walk up to you, and the first thing I would do is totally ignore Amanda at everything she says, and only have a conversation with you. I only will focus
Perfect.
I make it look like I'm only interested in you, and she will be feeling left out. So she will do, and I will even ignore it if she asks questions. I'll be like, no, I'm talking to Stein here. And she will feel, left out, and she will do everything to gain my attention eventually, especially because it's a party and you guys just met someone new, who's me, and I will just fully ignore her. What kind of power would that have over you?
None at all. I'm an Aquarius. It really just doesn't work on me. Quite mean, frankly, I'd rather people just didn't come over to me whenever we're at a party. So, it works for me. However, I understand you're saying the masses as a whole.
Yeah.
Aquarius, no.
People, hide your daughters, hide your wives. Joost is in town and he's coming for all of them.
And I really think it depends on the person that you're doing it to, because when you were saying about energy as well, I think being in your authenticity, that's a power that, is somewhere. It doesn't even categorize under even like what you're describing for like this type of energy manipulation. Being authentic, you could be authentic in a different, a higher vibration, a lower vibration, but you're being authentically you. So I'm not sure, like I'm understanding some of what you're saying, but some of it I'm thinking there's probably more to it than even we know. Yeah.
Magic always goes deeper than just surface level, but
yeah,
we're just talking about like the general populace.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
which is none of our subscribers, none of our listeners. Like, you are all special.
I must admit, it doesn't work on everybody, and it's like seeking out weaknesses in people. Someone who's his authentic self, who knows who he or she is. Like I said with the cult stuff, they don't need the group confirmation because they already confirmed themselves. I'm perfect the way I am. I figure out my own life. I figure out who I am, and I don't need that, that glamorous person to. I don't need his confirmation. Simple as that. And when you are your true self, you are like a fortress because you know who you are, so you also know which kind of people fit into your life. So you don't need those fake people, and vampires know how to be the fake perfect person. They are a master at it. They are masters at manipulations. They are master, just like politicians. Everything they say, all the promises they make. Did you ever meet a politician that kept their promise? Just one promise. Did they keep one promise? Every politician always says we are going to lower taxes. Did any politician throughout the whole anti-human race lower taxes? Or did they higher taxes every time they got into,
Stein? I tend to not watch anything to do with politics online.
I mean, they'll lower the taxes for the top 1%.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and they'll call it like, like the trickle down effect, because they save more money by not paying as much taxes, so they can pay their staff more and pay their staff better. And that's also something that never happens.
No.
It's just like, hey, I only paid 5 million in tax instead of like 15 million. I know where the other 10 million is going, not my staff.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's that's the whole thing they do. It's manipulation. It's they give into their their own needs, their own hunger, basically. And yeah, I never met a politician. I even been in politics myself, and I never met a politician that cares about the people. They only care about themselves. If you want to be a politician, you want to be someone who sits on a throne. You want to be someone in power. And the fact that you want power over the people, just like in a cult, you want power over people already means you don't care about those people. You just want power over those people. And you don't want to help those people or,
So politics is basically just another cult
100%.
with a different kind of vampires.
Yeah.
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
And, they also want to be worshipped. When you look at when there is elections, all those people clapping and cheering for the lies they are hearing. Wow, we are gonna get lower taxes. Woohoo! They are gonna do something about immigration. Woohoo! All the
Yeah, it's
people
like
cheering and nothing happens. Nothing changes. Nothing. But
it's like every 4 years we forget that, they don't,
care about us.
they always break their promises, but like every 4 years, like, oh, they'll do it this time. We just gotta vote harder.
Or become a
But
member of
ultimately, they're all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or become a member of their party, or like a big donator or something, because then they'll care. That way I can make a difference. No.
But yeah, that's another magic, manipulation, seduction, stuff like that. And earlier on, you were asking stuff about psychic people. And another big thing for psychic vampires is astral projection, which is basically an out-of-body experience. In this book, again, by Joe H. Slate about psychic vampires, he also mentions astral projection, where you lay down, get in a meditative state, and just basically step out of your body and walk around, the astral planes, walk around the world, see stuff or not see stuff. I know the CIA did a lot of experiments on children who were psychic or were claiming to be psychic, where they had cards with a triangle and a circle and a square, and those kids were in another room and had to guess what symbol they were holding up, if it was a square or... And some kids, they got close to 100%, not always 100%, and some kids just were guessing and, not even get 20%. But yeah, astral projection is also really interesting because I believe that when we dream, you also get into another world. You see places from the past, present, future. You see made up places, but you're always walking around some weird world where everything can happen, where you can change shape. Sometimes you dream that you are a cat or a dog or whatever,
and where the laws of physics don't go, like they're non-existent.
But also time doesn't exist, because one
Yes.
moment you're in your childhood, the other moment you are in the future, and you are basically everywhere at the same time during the dream. So the astral world is for vampires, it's really a big thing. And when you look at mythological vampires, they are shapeshifters. A vampire can change into a bat, into a rat, into a wolf, and that's basically what you do during astral projection as well. You change your shape, but you also change the world around you. You basically make up or create in your own imagination, your own creativity. You create a whole other world that's only yours, or you dreamwalk into other people's dreams and stuff like that.
Yeah, I have a question about that. I think I know the answer, but I'd still like to ask it. In the I watched the new Nosferatu movie a while ago. Loving the occult imagery in that, by the way. Jeez, it's so beautifully occult. When we see the count, when we see him, in the shadow on the wall, or in the the curtains like shaped around him, he's not actually there. Is that him projecting, like astral projecting himself?
100%. That's because he also, if you watch that movie closely, he's also appearing in her dreams, or even whispering something in her ear, and she wakes up like, "Who did I hear?"
I mean, that's supposedly how it all started. I mean, I believe it was like she was young in some kind of desperation, she called on, whatever could help her, and he was the first to answer.
Yeah, she was a channeler, wasn't she? So she was open to deities or different energies channeling through her. So she had opened herself up to it. I love that movie, by the way.
Yeah, and when she was a child, because children
Yeah.
are still more pure
susceptible.
in that will.
Yeah.
Yeah, more susceptible or not as corrupted by the world yet, if you will.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think you gotta be open-minded to that kind of stuff. When I was as a child, we were still connected to the Roman Catholic Church, and you got communion, and after that we got what we call form soul. It's when you are communion is at age 10 or something like that, I guess, and communion is at age form soul is at age 12 or 13, I think. But that's when you really decide you are going to be part of the church, of the Roman Catholic Church. So you got being baptized, then you got the communion, and then you got the third thing, which is form soul, but I don't know what they call it in English. But
I'm looking it up, but I didn't even know it was.
But
was
during that
thing.
third thing, they did an exercise with us in the church itself. They had the rooms where we had Bible lessons and stuff like that. And the priest asked us to lay down, close our eyes, and, do some exercises where we tighten our muscles and let them go, let them loose. And tighten, then let them loose. Breathe during that. And then we had to stand up without using our muscles. And back then I didn't know about astral projection, and he was like, stand up, look around the room, what do you see? And he was also walking around the room while speaking with us, so you could follow his voice. And he was like, walk to my voice, and stuff like that. And eventually he would say, now go fly into the sky and look in the air, and look at the town. And I was, visualizing the town and visualizing the people and the cars, and there was a shop close by, and I was watching people getting in and out the shop, buying their groceries and stuff like that. And yeah, that was basically my first experience with astral projection, and it was kind of weird that they were teaching us that at a Roman Catholic church.
Yeah, so
that is weird.
for our UK and US audience and the rest of the international people, it's the confirmation. It's one of 3 sacraments of initiation, both in the context of the Roman Catholic Church and Eastern Orthodox. It's baptism, Eucharist, and then confirmation.
Yes, thanks for the info.
Of course, being a host and producer at the same time, so, And I had no idea what it was in English either, so I'm a freaking pagan. I don't know, man.
But yeah, like I said, astral projection, big thing within vampirism, but also within Christianity, also within Buddhism. I think it's even big within paganism, because if you use certain mushrooms or whatever, you also sometimes get out of your body and see crazy stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, mushrooms is a thing. It's the shamans would mostly do it through, at least in the North Germanic traditions, through the practice of Galder, or throat singing. What they also still do in the church, like the Gregorian chants, for example. That is a form of Galder, of like magic speech, and will get you into that trance.
Yeah, it gets you into a mental state where your thoughts go in the background and you just become.
Yeah, you just become, you just are. Yeah,
exactly. Without the ego, without the thoughts, without your daily bullshit going on in your mind.
Yeah, you just become, your body just becomes a a vessel, a body and mind can separate, and mind can go wherever it wants to. The mind, the soul has no limitations. The only limits are the limits that it puts upon itself.
Exactly. So yeah, those are I think the biggest things within vampire magic, which I mentioned, which is, energy gathering, forms of seduction, glamour, which I call it, and astral projection. It's also where they commune with certain, dragons, demons, undead, whatever you want to call it, during those rituals, during those magic experiences. Or even create your own demons, because I think, when you look at the Vedic culture, the Vedic scriptures, which are like 5,000 years old, they tell about three powers that a god has. We can create, we can destroy, and we can sustain which is created. Those powers, you create something and you either choose to sustain it or destroy it. And that's the whole creation part. And when you look at us humans, we can also, when you go to the gym, you create going to the gym, getting healthy. And you can sustain it by keep going, or you can say, I'm gonna destroy it and go back to the bar and drink beers and fuck going to the gym, and I'm gonna be unhealthy again. We can destroy, create. That's also magic in my opinion, because we are one of the few creatures that can create. I mean, an animal can create as well, but they can create a nest and create the next generation of, the animals. But we can actually create stuff like old cathedrals. We can create castles. We can create the internet. We can create everything we imagine. We can create eventually.
Yeah, I'd say that's the major difference. We can consciously create. We don't just, like the animal kingdom, we don't just create out of necessity. We can consciously create. Yeah. And I think like creating our own demons, I think if demons are in fact a thing, and I do believe there are definitely malevolent forces. I think it's more like a tulpa that you're creating, so which is really a being on its own. But that's going way down the occult route, and we'll save that for Grey Worm Pagans. I think that's not across the pond talk. That's Grey Worm Pagans talk.
Yeah.
But I think it's more you're creating a tulpa. You're creating a being in of itself. Yeah.
By kind of like by imagining it into existence in a way.
By willing it into existence. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I do wonder, do you got...
I believe that.
We're going down some way occult rabbit holes here, man.
Do you guys have some questions? I think
Amanda has several.
I don't think I should ask any more questions. We're gonna get cancelled.
No, I mean that's what Andy is for. You can censor it if you need to.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm hoping so.
But,
yeah. So you're not in the cults anymore. You broke away from them.
Yeah.
Or you're still a part of them.
No, I broke away from them, and the reason why was I was friends with a German model, really pretty goth model.
Right.
But we were really good friends, and we talked a lot about vampirism and stuff. And while we had the event in the Netherlands for the Dutch branch, I got asked to become the leader of the Dutch branch. So I would have been, the big leader of it. the leader of the vampire cult asked her to meet up as well, so she could be the leader of the German part of the cult. And he wanted to meet her at her place. And
Right.
what she told me was that instead of discussing her leadership, he basically wanted to force himself on her sexually instead of having a discussion about leadership. So he wanted to abuse his power of being the big leader to have sex with a beautiful goth model, basically. He didn't push through because she said, I'm gonna call the police now if you keep doing this. And he left and he never came back. And she told me the story and I believed her. And for me, that was, a bridge too far. I'm open-minded about people doing all the crazy sex stuff, drinking blood, whatever they want to do, if there is consent. If you want flash hooks in your back and fly around the stage, perfect, if that's your choice, if you're into it. But the moment you go to someone, promise them leadership, but instead try to, have sex with them, that's a bridge too far for me. So that was for me the moment I was like, well, fuck you guys. I'm out.
Okay.
And the Dutch version of the cult never set foot because, I guess, I was going to be leader and I said, fuck you guys. And that's what happened. And later on, Stein sent me a link of a American member of the cult who was telling her story about how she got abused within the cult. So...
Oh, really?
Back then I thought this was just a one-time event that happened because I thought, the leader, he was... as a man you can read the wrong signals and think, hey, that girl wants to have sex with me, and I do my thing and I back out when she says, hey, I'm gonna call the cops, and I'm like, oh, sorry, I made a mistake, and I, go out the door and it's, it never happened. But when I saw that podcast, and it took like 2 hours to watch, and I heard about all the things he did to her and to other females, I was like, well, this isn't one-time occasion. This is a pattern that's happening. He forces women to get consent, and then he thinks one-time consent is consent for everything. And that's, that's not how consent works. You can give and take your consent, right? So, that to me was a big eye-opener. And it was strange that Stein found that. And he was like, hey, I found something about your cult. And he said it to me, and I was watching it. And I was like, what the holy fuck? I know,
what are the chances?
Yeah.
That's exactly what you left over as well.
Yeah, exactly that. And then I figured out there's a lot of more crazy stuff going on there. And then I was reading, the Epstein case was happening. The Diddy case was fresh. And I was like, a part of it is consent. That German model invited Sebastian into her home. If she was smart, she would say, hey, let's meet at a bar and have a discussion. Never invite someone at your home. Especially not a vampire.
I was gonna say, like, she literally invited the vampire into her home, like,
So
she gave him all the permission that he needs.
So there a part of it is people giving their consent, but there is also a big part of manipulation in it. And when you watch that other podcast, it's a podcast for cult survivors, people that have been within a cult and survived the cult and tell their story, then you know that there is a really big dark side to it. Like I said earlier, there's a big dark side to cult. When you look at the Epstein stuff, it were younger girls, age 16, so it was not like they were illegal like 10 years old or 6 years old, but 16 is still a minor. And they were promised to become, famous models or famous whatever. And instead they were used as, prostitutes, basically. Allegedly, because, we cannot prove that it happened. And all the victims...
No, and the files don't exist, right?
And
so
the victim, Prince Andrew, the victim, he settled with paying her $25 million for not having a law case, but also she died in a car accident and she's gone now. So, just like Princess Diana,
Weirdly.
the victim is gone, the case is gone. So yeah, there's
Mm.
when I think about the darker sides, yeah, I think certain cults go really far into, when they get exposure, they do everything to get it out of the way. I'm not saying the
Yeah,
cult
for
that I
sure.
was in is doing it, but when you look at Diddy and Epstein, the Diddy case, there's also a lot about him, saying I want to assassinate a person and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how those people seem to disappear. You know?
Yeah, the victims, they just...
Yes.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Always
Like
when something
there's just
happens. Yeah.
yeah, like there's just some wormhole or black hole somewhere, and it's, like gone.
So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to have a car accident after you release this video, and it was nice. It was nice knowing you. It was nice knowing you guys.
Oh my god, like that's another thing though. Like, guys, I'm absolutely not fucking suicidal. Like,
No, me neither.
Oh
and the
yeah.
fuck-
No.
and the, and like the week after they're found, dead by suicide. Two bullets to the back of the head.
Yeah.
Suicide. Yeah.
And disclaimer. We all three of us here are not suicidal
No.
on this podcast.
I may not, particularly like life, but I do appreciate living. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
I have a little bit too much to lose. Wife, kids, family, all that stuff. So no.
But yeah, I think, when you look at the victims and people that are drawn to cults, I think everybody has trauma in their life. Everybody has traumatic events somewhere in their life. And I think we all got our own dark sides. And I think the best thing to do is not push your dark sides away, but just face them. Just be open and honest that... like, for example, if you enjoy getting hooks in your back and do that as a stage performance, just do it. I mean, it's wild, it's crazy, but there are people that like watching it and there are people that like doing it. And as long as there is consent,
Yeah, sure. To each their own. If that's your thing.
It's not my thing.
No. I prefer my back hookless.
But yeah.
Me too.
but I think we all got our darker things or darker needs, and I think the biggest lesson is consent. Find someone who's into the same stuff and just do whatever you want to do. Don't do it like the gay parade outside in the streets, but do it in your bedroom, Just don't flop your dick out in front of children at the gay parade. Just do it in your bedroom.
Yeah. That goes without saying.
No, don't do that in the bedroom either, bro. Like, just...
Either.
Just nothing involving kids, okay? Like, let's...
Yeah, but I mean flopping your dick out. Not the kids part.
I'm sorry, I had to. No, I know, man. I know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's.
Andy's gonna have a field day with this one.
No, I know, but he's gonna have to go through it all.
I guess we should start wrapping up.
Yeah.
We're about, even like with the whole pre-thing, we're about an hour and a half in. It's pretty much literally dark here now.
Yeah.
And I'm melting.
Oh, well, then you got a great camera because it doesn't show.
The heat in London is like, it's nighttime, but it's roasting. It's been going on all day. It's just been getting worse and worse.
Oh, same
here.
So look.
So Amanda, do you have any last questions for Mr. Vampire?
If you ever come across someone that can change you into a vampire, can you let Stein know so he can gift him my address? Apart from that, thank you so much for being on here today.
No problem, no problem.
Oh, we corrupted her, bro.
She will fantasize about vampires seducing her, and
Oh yeah, I mean she
What are you
says it's
talking about? I'm going to be investigating tonight.
she says it's the London heat, but actually, you know, woo.
before you know, she wants to be tied up in a dungeon and have a vampire do his thing with her, and yeah. You know,
Stein, you need to cut off.
I'm already taken. I am already in a committed relationship, but otherwise I would take the next plane to the UK, and I would help you out with your.
I feel rejected now.
With your.
Just take a red-eye flight. And...
You know, and
I mean, I literally have her address, like from the mugs.
One
and everything.
thing-
It's in
Can you
group chat.
pass by Andy's and bring my cup?
I would definitely wear this one during the sexual performance, because this thing needs more energy in it, more sexual dark energy in it. So yeah, Stein, can you book a plane ticket for me so I can?
On it.
Stein,
On
he's
it.
expensing it.
So I can. I want to give her
Yeah,
a private, a private interview with a vampire, and yeah.
No, thank you, but like one of the boys might be interested.
I'll put it on the company credit card.
I will turn this lady
so funny.
into a full vampire. Yeah, I will do it.
Oh man, she is. Yeah,
We got a deal. We got a deal right
she's all
there.
for it.
Right,
Right,
this
and-
has been a great. I've really enjoyed.
Yeah, I think on this we should really cut it here before it goes, you know,
Yeah,
from
please.
from bad to even worse.
Stein, I will send the links. The links I think are important on Telegram. I will make a quick.
Yeah, sure, and I'll make sure to forward those to Andy so he can put them up in the description box down below. And I feel sorry for him already.
And
for
then you
having to
send
edit
me
this.
Amanda's address, right? So I can invite myself in. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. No worries, I got you.
I got Japanese.
No, you got me. It's fine. You got my back.
I got
across the
Stein. I got the Japanese rope and some chains and stuff like that. So it's gonna be.
Oh, should work. You'll get that through customs, no biggie.
Yeah.
You joker. Oh God. Okay,
yeah,
well that's been
so-
fantastic.
Yeah, Joost, thank you very much for coming on and telling your story once again for the I don't know how many times it's been now. Yeah, where can the good people find you? Where can they find more of your vampiric ways other than Amanda's?
Well, I gave you my my website where all my podcasts and stuff. Well, I don't own a podcast myself, but I appeared on several, and I got a link to my website, so I'm gonna give that as well.
Yep.
And yeah, people can watch it if they like.
How about your? I mean, we didn't get into it this time, but we for sure will next time, because I mean it's looking like Amanda needs a next time.
Yeah, definitely.
Where can the good people find your book?
Also on my website, it's 100% free, so people can just download it, and it goes into several subjects: government, companies, health, wealth, even into the occult, even into IT, because the world of IT, there's a lot of spyware, governments spying on us, and how to prevent it.
Yeah, well, we'll make sure that all those links are up in the description box down below for everyone watching, for everyone listening. Thank you for sticking with us for so long. This has truly been a special
Yeah, and thanks
episode.
for providing me Amanda. I really enjoyed it.
You're very welcome. I knew you needed a new victim, so that's why I brought her
There
on.
she is.
Here I am.
We gotta keep on that red light because it's.
Yeah.
This has been fun, guys.
Sorry, Roxanne, but you do have to keep on the red light.
Yeah.
Oh god! So
I hope you got a beautiful red dress.
I'm trying to do an outro here, guys. Come on.
All right, do it.
Zen. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for listening. Amanda, stop it. If you liked what you see, if you like what you hear, do please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Leave something nice in the comments. Do be nice, please. If you are listening to this on the on Apple Podcast or Spotify, do remember to give us that 5-star rating. It's a small effort, but it means a lot to us. And for everything else across the pond, subscribe to us on YouTube. That is youtube.com/@acrossthepond.yt. Find us on Instagram, find us on Facebook. And for a handy place for all of those links together, go to our website, acrossthepond.co.uk. I'm saying it right this time. Just you UK lot with your, we need a special one. So yeah, thank you all for sticking with us. It's been a cool one. It's been a special one. Until next time, everyone, I'm gonna sign off now, because it's gonna get even worse otherwise. So, bye-bye, people.
Just in relation to some comments that you've made on a Facebook page.
This is a Fox News alert. The Epstein files have been released.
Across the pond.
You're looking at now, sir. Everything that happens now is happening
Very serious.
now.